Okay, I get it. You've been waiting on my German Emperor video, and now there's a video talking about Alan Wake 2's music video? I get you're confused, and you're gonna stay confused, because this video is one of the most balls to the walls creative, layered, and unique bits of media I've ever seen. So, our beer-loving Wilhelm needs to wait a bit longer. I want to talk about a fucking rock musical number. Alan Wake 2 is a sequel to the Alan Wake, a game which came out in 2010. These are primarily horror games with a light peppermint dash of action, primarily by using your flashlight to defeat your enemies. But none of that fucking shit matters. Who cares about light? I only wear dark colors because I'm an emo soy boy who is still cooler than all of you watching. Remedy Entertainment are the folks behind many critically acclaimed video games, such as Max Payne 1 and 2, Quantum Break, Control, and of course, the Alan Wakes. One aspect that is key to a Remedy game is live action, something which they have been incorporating in all of their games in some form or another, but more so than anywhere else in Alan Wake 2. Now, to be clear, this is not a review of Alan Wake 2, given that it is exclusive to Epic Games, and I hate their store with a vengeance, and the fact that I lack the brain matter to think critically ever. So what do I want to spec about in Alan Wake 2, since I've yet to play the game?
Yeah, but with the clicker, I chase those frights away.
I've yet to play the first game fully. I remember I dropped it some time ago after I played the first hour of it, but I can't remember why. But again, miss me with that shit. My first actual Remedy game was Control, and I loved it. I spent so much time freaked out by just the level design and in absolute awe at the spectacle of the combat, and I was also deeply confused and intrigued by the plot and world building. So having thoroughly enjoyed my experience with Control, I kept my eyes on Alan Wake 2 until it came out, and I clicked on that thumbnail for the music video I want to talk about, and holy hell, it is so fucking stupid. I mean that genuinely, it is stupid. I mean that in a good way, of course. The music played in that cutscene is just a banger, period. No notes on that. But the lyrics, they're great too. I love how it's just a normal description of Alan Wake's past and his backstory. Honestly, if there ever was an entertaining way to tell Don't Show, it's like this, by singing it. But beyond the lyrics, there's so much from the acting of the three main characters that we can extract that is not even told to us. And I think that's a good reason why so many people enjoy this scene. Now, again, I don't really know the story, and I'm about to break down the entire music video, but I haven't played the game, and I barely know the character of Alan Wake. He's a writer, I guess? That's gay. Imagine that. Writing things. Anywho, we've got Alex Casey, Alan Wake, and Mr. Door as the only real characters on screen for this music video. There's the band also, who are called the Old Gods of Asgard, but they mostly parrot Mr. Door's behavior. So in any case, let's start. Alex. Yes, I know that's not his name during these sequences, but whatever, fuck you, reality is mine. Alex is established to be an actor, playing the character of Alex Casey in these live-action scenes. There is next to nothing besides that characterization that we hear, and it isn't exactly told to us head-on. Thor doesn't go and say, "Hey, look at Sam over there, he's an actor." No. Mr. Door says he's playing the role of Alex Casey, which, now that I think about it, is also not very subtle, but whatever. Things can be thrown at you head on. My wife seems to disagree on that, but whatever, she doesn't matter. The point is, Talk Show Alex is an actor who got hired to play a role, and in the music video, nearly everything this character does reinforces that characterization. He's a performer He's trying to entertain an audience we can't see. And when he's doing the song's insane dance number, if you look carefully at him, he has a sort of laser focus on him. Like he's doing a motion that he practiced for, and now it's his damn time to shine. There really isn't much I glean from this guy from the music video. He's an actor, a performer, and an entertainer. And the actual actor's acting, fuck me, this is getting wild, reinforces that. It is the acting of Alan Wake and Mr. Door's actors who are much more interesting. For example, Alan Wake. From the beginning of these talk show scenes, it is immediately made aware that Alan is confused as hell. He doesn't know why he's there or what the hell's going on. However, these scenes, and the music video in particular, are played entirely for laughs. It's meant to be funny. However, there is always an air of anxiety we as the viewer get, which I believe is sourced from the big man, Alan Wake himself. Everything in this scenery is normal, and the discussions are all normal. It's just Wake himself who's the odd man out. He does not belong there, clearly. This feeling of anxiety is easily felt throughout most of the talk show scenes, but I think it's most hidden during the rock video, as the comedy is dialed up to 11, mainly by the absolutely ridiculous dance number. But Alan Wake's behavior during this song is very interesting. You see him dance and you see him sing, but his face during the whole ordeal, well, it's of confusion, concern, terror, even at times panic. It's everything but a man enjoying himself. Yet, he's dancing the same number and singing the lyrics. Is he being puppeteered? I know it's a weird thing to ask, but from what I gathered of the other live action scenes, Alan is actively trying to escape wherever the hell he's in. And clearly he's a man way out of his league in knowing what's going on. There was absolutely no glib-garb paranormal abomination that went backstage to give him directions on the dance number he's about to perform. Hell, when he's first on set, he doesn't even know how to get through the curtain to the stage. So, is it that big a stretch to say that he's being puppeteered? Again, I'm going off just a live-action talk show scene, so I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, folks. Near the end of the song, in fact, when everyone is wrapping up their dance number, we see Alan Wake. His facade seems to break away, and for the briefest moment, you don't see him dancing or singing, but screaming. It's sort of like an angry or frustrated scream, and he's given back control as the song is wrapping up, and he stumbles back to his chair, takes a sip of his drink, and lets out a smirk. This last bit, I think, serves to humanize Alan to the player, because I mean, what we're looking at is completely ridiculous. No one who's watching this is scared or terrified. They're enjoying themselves. So Alan smiling serves as a sort of good way of connecting him to us, the player. There are other moments in the song that kind of reinforce my theory that he's being puppeteered. There are several moments where instead of dancing to the song, Alan is surrounded by the backup dancers who hand him a flashlight, a gun, some flowers, and wine. Typical romantic day. And his face isn't the only part of his body expressing confusion. He's looking around himself, visibly confused. And the last bit regarding Alan that I'll talk about, during the song, he gets a solo performance. A lucky man. And while the entire song is about his backstory, here, instead of him singing about himself, he sings about what he wants to do. He doubts whether the talk show is real or not. He expresses his real desire to escape the show, and yet he can't help but feel amazed at the entire performance he was just put in. And then we have the host, Mr. Door, the man who runs the whole place. Like Alex Casey, Mr. Door is a performer. He's putting on a show. But there is a difference between Casey and our host. Casey is doing his job, while Mr. Door is just having fun at Aaron Wake's expense. He smiles throughout the whole song, and while he does also take part in the insane dance number, he does so far less than Alex or Aaron. He does appear prominently throughout the whole song, and when he is singing, he is doing so with an exaggerated body language. At times it looks almost like the type of body language of a teacher reprimanding a student or being overly curious about what a child is saying. I can't really decide which. Beyond that, Mr. Door has this aura of pure fun about him. He appears constantly throughout the video, dancing his own way, not really following the same ridiculous moves that Aaron and Alex pull off. To the point that when he finally joins the dance number, it feels almost like he's indulging himself. Like he wants to do the same dance that Aaron is being forced to do, or that Alex is doing because it's his job. Mr. Door, he even has the biggest shit-eating grin throughout the whole sequence. Like his face and expressions are the ones that do come from a man who is deeply enjoying himself. And of course, Mr. Door does have ulterior motives for this whole mess that he's doing. I've only seen the talk show bits, of course, but in the final talk show scene, we get some vague answers about Mr. Door. And we can see from that scene that this guy, he's not a very big fan of Aaron. He's clearly frustrated and annoyed at him, and he actually wants Aaron to leave whatever the hell he's in. I'm not really sure, it was a confusing final scene, but I love that aspect about the character. He doesn't like Aaron Wake, and yet he is clearly enjoying himself throughout all of the scenes that he's in, particularly during the musical sequence, which it also makes the whole thing even scarier in retrospect. Mr. Door is clearly not human and is in charge of this whole damn thing, and the fact that he's frustrated at Aaron but he's still enjoying himself leads to a pretty damn scary road that I just don't know quite how to process yet. Alex's work and dedication showing off in the sequence, Aaron's pure confusion and panic lead to the understated anxiety of the song, and Mr. Door's pure enjoyment of what's happening make this an excellent song and cutscene. Honestly, it makes me want to buy it despite the fact that it's on Epic Games. This strangeness, this unique creativity and unabashed weirdness is something I wish I'd see much more of in mainstream entertainment, and I am happy that at least there is room for it in the games industry. Thanks for watching.
We'll sing it.